Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Delusional's Arcade. So in this final episode in Virginia, we actually take a trip down to Buffett's place, which is only about 10 minutes from where my best friend lives. I got introduced to him since he lived nearby. He already knew him and stuff. He was really cool. We hung out with him for a couple days. So I was able to kind of get just a quick tour of his property and like what he does, just hanging out, seeing what he's working on. But if you guys do want to see some more repair videos with him and stuff, I got to ask him if he wants to do that. I'm sure he'll be okay with it. Maybe I'll take this one here. This is a 4600 that I had that, I started working on, and he's really more the expert. I'm probably doing something dumb, but I can't figure out why it's not powering up. But instead of doing it here, we can actually do it down there. I'll just make a trip down there and visit again, because I do have family out there, so it's not too bad. So again, comment below if you want that to happen. But I guess in the meantime, without further ado, let's just go ahead and jump right into this video. All right, so we're here.
Yep. Hey Buffett, we're here, man. Hey, man. Come on in, Jay. Oh, Terminator.
Oh yeah, a lot of fun.
So Jay, Buffett.
Yep,
Buffett.
we've talked online, we met.
Yep.
What's going on, man?
I just happen to have him living right around the corner from my house.
Yeah,
Pretty sweet, ain't it?
yeah. And now it's gonna force me to visit Jay more.
Yeah.
So cool, man. So this is the setup. What do you have here?
Got some couple projects for one's for my project and one's for a customer. The T2 is for a customer. I'm gonna fully tear it down and clean everything and LED it and re-rubber it, theme rubber it, put a playfield protector on it, make everything
I
in
had
it
no
right.
idea. I thought you were specifically TVs.
No,
And monitors and arcade stuff, like arcade-related monitors, I should say.
No.
Swapping things.
no. I do a little bit of all of it. Work on this, work on that. So
Nice.
Screw of everything.
yeah.
Yeah.
Little-
Do what you like. That's really important.
It's fun. I just not on my website yet. I'll get that updated.
Yeah,
type
yeah,
thing. But no, I fix pinball machines and
Nice.
arcade monitors and actual games and whatnot. So this one's, I've been building a parts list and figuring out what's wrong with it and fixing anything that I find or looking for problems to address
Right.
and stuff to make sure it all works before you tear it apart. Because if you tear it
yeah.
apart and then you go, well, crap, did that work or did it not work? And then you're like, crap, now I got to figure it out.
Right.
So it's always better to have them
Here, the whole thing.
to hear the whole thing and get everything functional so you understand what parts you need for the initial part,
Right.
because you're
Yeah.
going to find new parts that you're not going to see till after you tear it apart.
Right.
So there's 2, 3, 4 part orders.
And it wastes
by-
time, too, shipping stuff back and forth and all that crap,
It does.
Or just bringing it,
So yeah, pinballs take a while to do, and
Right.
it's not like if you're just doing a basic clean, yeah, you can do it in a couple days, a week, whatever. But for what I do is stripping it all down. It takes months, to do it right, and some people like mods and other things, and then like I say, you got to figure out and fix problems and all that stuff. But mine, I like taking my time on.
This is pretty cool, too.
This is a work in progress.
What's these? It looks kind of like hazy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Well,
I see.
Yeah, it's because this one here, there's no playfield protector ever made for it. So one of my friends has helped me. We took everything off and we scanned it in, the playfield, and then he sat down in, I can't remember what program he used, but Photoshop or Adobe or something. I don't know what it was. And he basically created all the places where the ball rolls, so that way we could create our own custom playfield protector for it, and then have it laser cut.
Okay, so this still has the film on it. Is that why it's...
Yeah,
okay.
there's no point in taking the film off. Just
Just for testing it.
Yeah.
So this is a prototype then.
This is the very first prototype
Okay.
that we ever cut. So there's been
That's
5 or
neat.
6, 7 revisions since then.
Wow.
We have not got to the final yet. So once that's done, I'll be able to, if somebody needs one, they can contact me. We can get it cut out and shipped. So I'm in the U.S., so it makes
Yeah.
it easy.
Yeah, exactly.
Other playfield protectors come from overseas, and you got to wait, and shipping's a little more expensive from time to time, depending on where it comes from. But I've cleaned it down. I've cleaned all the plastics. I put LEDs in it, but I don't use super brights. I don't use a lot of clears. I like the frosted and the one SMD.
Yeah, it makes it look more natural.
It does.
You don't want it to like tear your eyes out when you're looking at it.
It does. It makes it. It makes the inserts. The inserts are all color matched. They pop. Actually, these aren't color matched. The diamond in the center, or the triangle in the center,
Right.
is not color matched. Those are white, but instead of putting in the original, I can't remember if they were white or red inserts. I put new inserts in, and then used white LEDs underneath them, and it works just fine. So there's no reason to color match that. It makes them pop. Same with the rest of the inserts. But I don't color match any of the plastics and stuff like for around the GI because it makes everything turn purple, and I cannot stand that.
Yeah.
So when you see people like it, some people like it, and if you like it, great. You do, you don't, you don't. But I personally find that it detracts from things, and you can't see the playfield very well, and it just makes it kind of dingy looking. So,
Well, you have a lot more machines, right? You have like stuff in storage, and because you always bring stuff to shows. You were telling me.
Yeah, no, I like to bring stuff to conventions. They contact me, and I bring games and stuff like that, depending on how many they want and whatnot. But yeah, I've got, 100, 120, something like that.
Only 100.
Yeah, something like that. But I've been collecting for a long time too.
Right.
So don't take that the wrong way. It's like, I just poofed 120.
Well, that's both pins and vids. Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's pins and vids. Yeah, and then
I have about, I guess, 15 in my house
Somewhere,
now.
yeah.
And like some are working, some aren't. Not counting the ones and I have tons of glass that I hoard.
Yeah. No.
I mean, nothing compared to this. This is great. Like all the stuff you have here.
So it's just like, I've been doing it a while. So,
Yeah.
you got to be careful in how far you want to get into the hobby because you can go hog wild. I did in the first when I first got in. I started picking up everything I possibly could.
Yeah.
Well, quality over quantity is a good thing. Sometimes quantity over quality is a good thing, depending on what it is and what you're doing with it.
Yeah, yeah.
So, it's both things. But once you get to a point, and real estate is not cheap, so you got to pick and choose after a while what you pick up.
Agreed.
So I still pick up some stuff, but then I pass it on to others, so because I don't need it, but somebody else might, another friend or somebody on a forum or
That's how it
What's your
works.
favorite vid?
that's a loaded question. You got to give me genre.
Well, yeah. Well, also
You know.
vector, raster.
Platformer, maze, shooter, fighter.
So you're saying one of each will be your own.
I've got different favorites and different,
So if you're on an island, right, and there's nothing else but one video game you could pick, what would it be? Pinball or vid?
If it was video only, I'd probably take my Galaga 3. Love
Nice.
that. Love
Really?
that game. Love Galaga 3. Galaxian's okay. Galaga, meh. Galaga 3, where it's at.
Yeah, that's the one we can go all the way up, right?
Yeah, you can go 3/4 of the way up the screen.
Right.
Yeah, and it's got
And then
different
you have the
attachments.
ships where it can do
and,
stuff, and you can catch the bad guys.
Right.
Yeah, that's a really good one.
yeah, in the bonus stages, you juggle them
Yeah,
and
my
stuff
son
like that.
just, he's only 10, but he discovered that recently, like on his, he has a 61. He's
Right.
like, whoa, he's like, you can catch them?
Yeah, the graphics, like
The sound,
evolution of graphics is genuinely better. Not that it's the best, but it's genuinely better. They didn't overdo it. They didn't underdo it. The sound is great. Just the action is great. The difficulty ramps up depending on which board set you have and which
Yeah.
ROM set you have. But you can pick and choose which one you want. Just got to find whether it's a Namco board or a Midway board, and then
Yeah.
change the ROM set over to what you want.
And would it be cocktail or upright?
I'd be an upright.
Yeah.
I like the upright. I like.
Yeah.
I love
cool.
cocktails. Got
Yeah.
a soft spot for
Now
them.
you're gonna try like
But-
play it on yours because you
Yeah,
have
I'll
it.
check it out on my
He actually has a multi that we actually converted a Galaxian the right way to a multi. Actually, he got a whole new panel. We
Right.
redid it and everything, and I made a harness and everything. We just pop it in.
Yep.
That's it, it's done.
Yep. No, that's
Left the boards inside.
Dormant.
That's
you
the
know,
way to do
and
it.
that-
So if you ever want to
Yeah, it's
deconvert it or
totally-
change it,
We could reverse it in like 5 minutes if we want.
yeah,
to.
everything's
Literally.
preserved. You didn't cut holes
Yeah.
into anything. Now you got to have a whole new. But as far as like pinball goes, if I had to choose only one, it would be a toss-up between Jurassic Park or Twilight Zone.
Which you have
Like
over here.
Twilight Zone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have a Twilight Zone too. I don't have it here, but
Oh,
I do
okay.
have a Twilight Zone.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I have one. And then Jurassic Park's a work in progress. I've done a lot of extensive work on that.
Did you see? There was some on YouTube I saw where somebody unboxed.
Yeah, I watched that.
Jurassic
It was
Park.
50-minute out.
Yeah, that was pretty
new
cool.
in box. Yeah,
Yeah, it was
that
just
was cool
sitting
to
new
see.
in box for years.
Yeah.
And they unboxed it now. Do they have it at Grinkers? Do you know? You've been to Grinkers, right?
I have. I don't remember if they had it up there. I know they had a Star Wars. I
I've
remember
never been
that.
there. Every year I say I'm going to go, but something comes up with work or family or something. So, and I've been to ZapCon, so I can't do both. Like,
Right.
I'm on the East Coast, so it's like,
Yeah,
you
well,
know,
I'm
all the
over
way
here
from
and
New
it's
York.
over there too. So
Yeah,
I mean, I
so,
get it. You know, it's,
people, they're like, oh, just drive. We're in California. I'm like, well, I'm on the other side of the planet.
right.
I feel like.
I mean, you know.
But we did have a guy from Australia.
Yeah, Grinkers is a great place. The last 2 years, because I don't have money to go places. You know, it's not a secret. Is I make enough money to, live, but I don't make grandiose money doing this kind of thing. But I was lucky enough. There was a couple people sponsored me the last 2 years to go out to Grinkers. And
Oh, that's cool.
yeah, Steve was a very gracious host. He, along with the sponsors, paid for my lodging and food and stuff like that. And in return, I was out there for a week, and
Oh, and you helped him out.
yeah, all I did was repair
See,
his games.
paying it forward.
Yeah,
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
That's all I did. I
That's great.
got a whole bunch of his games up and running. I redid or cleaned and redid half or all of the tournament games, and I just worked on his games. While I was there, he was gracious enough. He gave me a key to the back door, so I could come and go, on my own
nice.
sleep schedule
Yeah.
type thing. And I was just there 16, 18, 20 hours a day. I just sat there and worked on games and worked
Yeah.
on games and fixed monitors and cleaned games, and then worked on all the tournament stuff to get it all ready for everything that they wanted to do for
Right.
the Grinkers tournaments.
That's
So
cool.
what started as a hobby for you now is a full-time business,
Yeah,
right?
pretty
So
much.
For people who watch Jay's channel and they don't know if they're looking to get like a chassis or a monitor repaired, can you walk them through like what that process is, like how they get? a
Well,
hold
really,
of
it's
you?
by email, right?
Well, yes, you can contact me. I have stuff on my YouTube. I don't remember what my YouTube channel is. I'm very sorry about that. I don't remember.
Well, I'll link to it
But-
down in the description below,
right.
so we'll be fine.
That's cool. But if you want to contact me, my email is thearcadebuffet.com, and then thearcadebuffet@gmail.com. It's pretty simple.
Okay.
Just change one .com for the other.
So
you know.
technically, is it Buffett, like Jimmy Buffett, or Buffet?
People, I don't
I've
care
called
what
you
you
both,
call 'em.
but then someone's like, "Well, it's Buffett. It's not Buffet."
I say buffet. People call me Buffett. Some people call me Buffett.
You heard it from the horse's mouth.
Kind of thing.
Don't call me late for dinner.
Yeah, that's exactly. Do not call me late for dinner because I am not.
I know all my viewers are probably like, "What the hell,
Yeah.
Zookeeper?" And this isn't. You said you're working on it.
Yes,
so it's,
that
it's
is-
actually someone else's.
Yes, that is for a customer.
Yeah, but it's in.
I'm slowly
really
working
nice
on it.
shape.
He did not want me to do any of the outside work. Basically, everything that he wanted to do the cosmetics and the outside. I'm putting a brand new monitor in it for him. I'm looking at all the circuit boards, going to try to get them all working. If not, I will have to, source them out. But I'm giving it a good shot here to see
Yeah.
what's wrong with them, because Zookeepers are very, very tough to work on. They are not an easy game. So believe me, if you don't know what you're doing, source it to somebody that does, because you can really screw it up if you don't.
Yeah, there's that RAM mod you have for it too, and
Right.
mine. I mean, I'll be honest, I'm not, really good with boards and stuff. I'm probably just gonna put a Zook in there.
Right.
J-Rock.
No, people have asked me, is he just going to, put a ZooQ in it? And I'm like, no, he wants it all original. He wants the original power supply fixed. So, like I say, I'm going to fix everything I can up until the boards. If they prove too problematic, then I'll source those out. But otherwise, I fixed the wiring inside. That was kind of hacked up and cut up. And
This lights up too.
Yeah.
That's the thing I was telling you, Jay, where it lights up.
Yeah, it does.
And then it has, the marquee actually has a whole bunch of tiny little bulbs in there.
Yes, they're like
bayonet bulbs.
555s and whatnot. What I'm going to do is I'll go ahead and change those over depending on which ones I need, or I'll have to modify it to run cool LED lights.
Yeah.
That way it doesn't bleach the back.
Yeah, get the frosted white.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
And-
mean, you have them for the other stuff already. You probably could just put them.
Yeah, no, yeah, absolutely. Well, the thing about those is it would be like if I was to change it, I would put strips in. That
Oh,
way
okay.
it fully lights it
Right.
from.
There's no.
Right, you don't see the individual you know,
sometimes you'll see the speakers, like the shadow of it and stuff. So you gotta
right,
make sure.
yeah. So I'll
Yeah.
put LED strips across it, and it keeps it cool up there, and it fully illuminates the marquee, which
Right.
is really, really nice.
But yeah, this is my Grail game.
So-
I have a beat up kicks that like the glass has like a 1/4 inch on each side and it doesn't even fit. So I'm just gonna take it out. Get there's a guy Joe we just talked about, Joe Sabo. He does glass reverse printed.
That's cool.
So I may go plexi to save money because
Sure.
I'm putting a 2Q like you said in it.
Right.
But I have 2 of these joysticks. Like when it rains and pours, I was looking for one, and for years I couldn't find it, and then 2 just popped up. And between the 2, I'll get one working and maybe just sell the other one or something.
Yeah.
But I gotta I have it in a plastic baggie because it's just all rusted in there.
Oh yeah. You gotta get it.
But he has the whole. I'm not gonna stencil it. I thought about it, but he has the whole full side art where he vectorized the entire thing because there's files out here you can't
sure.
print,
Sure.
but he vectorized like from scratch.
Right.
All
Yeah.
those little tiny little things here.
Oh yeah, like I said, the owner, he's going to do, the outside work. He wanted
Yeah.
to do all the cosmetic work himself. I'm just basically handling pretty much everything on the inside.
But yeah, this is my game. I love it.
Yeah,
I could score into millions. I can say
that's cool.
1 million, but it's still a million.
Right. A lot of folks when they come over for monitor repairs, locals and stuff that bring, when they come over for repairs, they're like, "Oh, you got a Zookeeper?" And I'm like, "No, that's another customer." It's like, "Oh
Yeah.
man, does he want to
It always
sell
gets
it?" And he's
recognized,
like,
and I used
I
to love
know,
this as a
same
kid.
thing.
Yeah.
I asked you. If
It
you
was
knew.
my Grail before it got popular.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just loved it as a kid. I remember playing this, and I'm like, it's so cool you can keep. But when I played as a kid, I used to keep everything inside, thinking that's what you got to do with the animals.
Right.
And I'd die like later on because it gets hard. But then you realize to get a high score, it's about the jumps.
Right.
So you want
That's
them
the
to
same
come
thing
out.
that Buffett said to me when we were
And
talking about
like, once you discover that, and then you get them all in the same direction, I mean, I can play this game all day. I
Right.
love it.
Yep.
it. I'm not a huge fan of the game itself, but I love the cab. I love the
Yeah.
colors and the way the control panel is and everything else.
I have a couple videos actually, if you check the playlist, where I get 1,000,000 point jumps in this, where it's pretty cool seeing that. You
Right.
see that every day, But
Right.
I got 1,000,000 point. I was like, yeah, you hear me in the background? Yeah, I got it. But
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, no, it's a very fun game and a very much wanted game by many folks.
Right.
So
Yeah.
Original cabs are few and far in between nowadays. They're getting harder and harder to find.
Yeah.
A lot of them have been multicaded and
I'd
painted
even take a
over.
reproduction, like freshly cut, at this point, because again, I'm not throwing originals in there. I just want this has to be original. The CP is really what you need. The controls.
You got to have that looking original. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Gotta
It's like a
have
hood
that
of a
going
car,
on.
like we were just talking about before.
Yeah.
But so that's your workstation over there. That's where all the magic happens.
Yeah, that's where most of it happens, except for
I
on the
guess you can put
pins.
schematics up there and stuff too.
Well, yeah, when I need to, the
Dude,
left
this is
TV.
like the killer setup. I love it.
Yeah, I got to get a video card that'll drive all 3 TVs. I got it up there, so when it's ready at time. But
nice.
but the 2 on the right, the center one on the right one work. Yeah, I turn it on. I use it to look at schematics, check emails, look for problems, play videos. Watch movies, listen to things while I'm working.
Yeah.
And then just sit down and enjoy what I'm doing.
That's cool.
So,
All right.
but
And what's the story with this Arkanoid?
another customer repair.
It's Cabaret.
It's
Is
actually
this original?
It is a Pac-Man cabaret.
Oh, okay.
Somebody long ago
Converted it.
Yeah, converted it
kit,
sometime.
whatever.
Kind of the same thing. He already had this marquee printed. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to LED back here in strips. That way it illuminates it nice.
Right.
He didn't want any of the control panel work. I'm probably going to put new T-molding on it. But he was going to redo the control panel. I got to get the bushings and other
Right.
stuff for the
Yeah,
spare.
I have a tournament Arkanoid. It doesn't sound this bad, but it does need work. And then I have the cocktail,
Right.
which you may end up getting. We'll see.
It'll come
But
to
the
a good
cocktail,
home.
it's like butter. Like it's so smooth.
Yeah.
And it's in a Taito cocktail, which is great.
So, yeah, that's cool. There's, I think, I believe there's 2 other spinners in the cab he bought and brought them over.
Oh.
So I'm going to piece them together as best I can to get the smoothest running and then try to find the bushings.
Then this is a 13-inch, right?
Yes, that is
Yeah.
a 13-inch currently being worked on over here.
Hey Jay, look, it's masked off. We did this to his Star Wars when we put the artwork. We just
Yeah,
flipped
except
it over, sprayed
this
it,
one
masked it
didn't
off,
get,
and it's paint.
Yeah, I have to guess that it's the original pack. They just scraped off the graphics.
Right.
I have to guess. I don't know. But you know,
yeah, it's still cool.
you know, is what it is. But yeah, same
Yeah.
thing.
I started liking cabarets a lot.
Yeah, no, they're nice.
I wish I could replace everything in my arcade with
Yeah,
cabarets.
especially if
Less
a
space.
centipede cabaret would be great because it's the
Yeah.
same size, 19-inch.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So you're not losing anything. You're just getting rid of that huge cat.
Yeah,
The
except for,
Ataris are just huge and heavy.
yeah, except for Battlezone, all the color games, color raster games, I believe, cabaret wise, I believe they were all 19-inch for Atari.
Okay.
I believe they were. Midway was not, but Atari I believe was.
Okay, so
Most
Dig
of them
Dug
were.
and all that.
Yeah, Dig Dug's a 19. Centipede I know is a 19.
Yeah, that's why they're so desirable, I guess, because they're smaller, but they're the same.
Right.
You're not compromising your game
and,
screen.
And it's the same thing with, even though it's Vector, but the Tempest Cabaret I believe is also a 19.
Right.
It's just, it uses 6100.
That's
love
cool.
to
That would be
have.
badass to have.
Yeah,
I
they're-
mean,
Full
this is a
size
guy, I
Tempest.
don't have anything, so you can wish over there with your nice, brand new looking Tempest, which is literally, when you come over, you'll see it's bulletproof. Like,
Yeah.
we did everything on that. But we learned, man.
Yeah.
We learned the hard way.
We did.
We did it right. It's not like we learned the hard way, but we'd like, okay, it's done. We're bulletproofed, and then something else goes, and we're like, and that's what happens. It's like a car, right? You
It
replace
is.
one part, and then poof, something else goes.
And that's the thing. Like, people use that term a lot. Personally, you know, as far as personal goes, I do not like the word bulletproofing because there's no such thing as bulletproofing a 30 plus or older
Old game.
Right.
game. Yes,
It's
you
just
can't
like
do
rating
it.
game.
Right, right.
You know, and a lot of people don't know. It's a fun history and whatnot to look up. But when these games were originally manufactured,
5 years.
no, 3.
3.
They were designed to last 3 years
Wow.
and then trashed or converted or
Yeah.
changed or whatever. Same with the electronics; they were just designed to last 3 years.
Right. But that's in retail environment. Like, this is just home.
No,
you
no,
turn
that was
on.
just
in general.
yeah, just in general. That was
Wow.
the manufacturer specs for a lot of the stuff. It was 3 years.
Yeah,
just
but
the
these
way it
are,
was.
I'll take CRTs any day over LCDs. I
Oh
mean,
no, absolutely.
You get the backlight that goes out, and power supplies are garbage. I've
Well-
capped LCDs before too, and
Right.
it's fixed them.
Well, it's between that
But-
and you get all the pixelization. Everything is squared
refresh
off.
rate,
There's refresh
Lag,
rate.
all that stuff.
Yep, exactly. And
Yeah.
it's just
I'm
flat,
CRT
You know.
all day long, unless you build it from scratch. Like, he has a bar top, you'll see.
Yeah.
That's different. It has
Yeah.
a Raspberry Pi. So
And if you run in MAME and stuff like that,
That's fine.
yeah,
fine, LCD it, great.
Yeah.
You know, rock on. You know, that's no problem.
Yeah.
But if you want original look and feel just for
Yeah, CRT
original games, you
all
have to
day.
go CRT.
yep.
And it's part of the preservation of it from a
Yep.
hobby standpoint.
I mean, you have tons over here, everywhere.
Yeah,
So-
no, that's just some of them are test tubes, and others are fixed and ready for customers waiting to pick them up.
Yeah,
and,
look at these here.
you know,
Wow.
and like I say, working on the 13. That's the chassis for this Arkanoid right there. It's
See,
been
that's like,
worked on.
well, it's almost like what I have. Like, this actually has a frame, but in my cocktail, it like, has nothing.
No,
I can't
cocktails
stand
are
those are such a pain.
they're
Like,
different.
how do you work on them? You have to put them in a frame somehow, temporarily. Maybe
What?
that's,
No, you see, it's just sitting on newspaper.
yeah. No, but I mean, like, the actual tube, there is no frame in a cocktail. It just goes in.
Right,
So when you
well-
take it out, it's like, well, how do you adjust it?
Right. Well, if yes,
Such a pain.
If you don't have a bench set up and have
Right, well, that's
accessibility
my
to other tubes, yes, to be able to take it out, to set it up on
Yeah.
something so it
Yeah,
doesn't
you're
fall
right. I
over
keep
and
forgetting.
bust.
You just plug everything in, you plug the chassis, and you have basically one of every type, right?
Most
When people give you stuff. Oh, it's a K7000. You'll pull that.
Yeah, and what I'll do is, like, I don't do it on this one, okay, but on like the 19s and the 25s, like, if the neck socket itself, okay, is a CR23 or a 31, mostly CR23 for 25s and some 19s, is I'll just take and pull the yoke off and put the correct yoke on. I don't converge it and put the rings on it.
No, but it's
and
close
stuff like
enough
that.
where you can see if there's
Yeah,
issues,
because
right?
all of what I'm
Yeah.
concerned is, does the chassis work 100%? Does it do exactly what it is? Because the convergence and purity, that's all tube related.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So do I have proper colors? Do I have bowing, do I
Mm-hmm.
not have any bowing issues? Do I have proper contrast? Do I have proper brightness? Do I have proper hold?
Mm-hmm.
All that has nothing to do with the rings.
Right.
So there's no reason to put those on. So I just swap the yokes off. And
Yeah.
that way, not that I wouldn't want to have a whole bunch of tubes sitting around, but of course, again, real estate is expensive and,
Mm-hmm.
don't have a gigantic shop. So you got to do what you can to get the best
Yeah,
bang,
well, I've noticed too,
you know.
you can dial it in
go.
perfectly with a TPG, but then when you throw it, each board's different.
Yes,
So you have to adjust it anyway, which I was telling him today, I was like, well, we adjusted it perfectly, we put it back, and we're like, oh, we have to still tweak it a little bit.
And that's the thing. The TPG has a set pattern and a set place where it starts to draw, okay? So it is a baseline to go off of. That is all it is, okay? It is a fantastic baseline because it produces exactly what you're looking to get, okay? But when you put it in your game, the volts peak to peak and where the game starts to draw on the screen is all different.
Right.
In every game. Even the same game can potentially be different depending on how the components age on said board. So, you know,
it depends.
Yeah, so I always tell people when I send stuff back, is it, and same thing in my repair videos.
I see that with all the stuff you post, you always put that little disclaimer, well, when it goes on your board, it's going to be a little different.
Yeah, you have to readjust it to your game.
Now, on that same subject with
that's why.
TPG, do you have Crafty Mechs, because I know yours are modded, like for the DC, like you put the stuff on, like he actually sent them to you that way?
He sent me one or...
I'm just curious to look at the actual, like, because I'm about to mod mine. I already put my LED on it, and I did a video on that.
Right. Well,
but I have to follow up. I'm just curious where you put your... Because that one there is battery powered.
Well, they're all battery powered. That one's not. That one's running off DC.
Plug it in? Oh, okay. So that's
running right in. So this one here, it was modified, and I've since taken it off, but your battery goes here. So basically...
Oh, it's on the side there.
Yeah, we just drilled a
Yeah,
hole.
you said it was pretty tight.
It is. If you, depending on what, you can't run a battery and DC at the same time. You'll blow your battery up.
Right.
Okay, because they just connect and it feeds back into the battery. You can't do that. But depending on what little piece for the DC jack that you put in here, what DC jack is, it can be very, very, very tight to get one. And
yeah, I put my LED up here because it was all empty. So I just stuck it right there. And I was thinking of putting the DC right there. And even if it sticks a little bit, it's not going to interfere with the pins at all.
No, as long as it's not in the way of anything, you could put it up here. The only thing about it is this plate comes out.
Yeah.
So
well, that made it easier for me. I just took the plate out, Dremeled it.
Right. No, as long as you get it right in the center, so you're not off to one side, then yes, it could work great. You know, depending on the size of your jack and everything.
Well, the thing, I have to double check, but I had the guy who actually wrote the whole article, whatever, on Cloud. He said that he was using both at the same time, where it would automatically switch. You could wire it out in a certain way.
Well, you have to add some extra circuitry. There's a diode and probably a capacitor and stuff.
Yeah,
and
maybe it was
you
a
have to
diode
put
or
in
something.
Because you have to be able to block the DC going into the battery.
Right, so it won't.
Because this is not a charging port.
There's
no charging station built into here or here, so it has to block this. So when it doesn't see this, it senses and then reverse biases and then conducts the other way.
Right.
Okay.
So for you, it's practical to have it plugged in anyway the whole time because
I run these 24/7, 7 days a week.
Because you do the burn-in tests, and stuff, right? So you're doing that now.
Yeah, this monitor here, I've been testing some other stuff on it too. I have another neck board I was repairing that this monitor that uses this chassis uses, and well, I ran it for I don't know 3 or 4 days, and I'm still having troubles with it. So I've got to figure out what it is. But the point is it ran for 3 days straight, or actually 5 days straight, while I was looking for problems, and I've since swapped the original neck board back on here to get this ready, to ship out to the customer.
Right.
But this has been running for almost 3 days now.
Wow.
So
you have to have it on. The battery just
the
kill overnight.
Well,
I put an LED on mine and I love it now. It's like I always forget, and there it is. It's lit up. I'm like, boop, I turn it on.
I've killed so many batteries.
Yeah.
That I'm like, what, screw it.
Well, he's just in his defense. He says the new ones that he has out, he's going to include it with an LED on it.
No, that's cool.
So new batch and stuff. He's working on it.
Yeah, originally that wasn't in the original designs, and he didn't want to put it in there, and there was obvious reasons why he didn't. And just as revisions go, it's great. He's making modifications and just continuing to make this better. Better and better and better and better. I've got 2 or 3 of them. I'm lucky enough that I was on the ground floor. I don't know if you can see it or not, but I've actually got beta 001.
That's so cool.
So
awesome.
Yeah, inside, I had monitors sitting around and whatnot, for testing and whatnot. So, like I say, space is a premium, so you got to just,
Holy crap.
You just got to do other things to, you know, store them and whatnot. I got lucky and I found this on, my buddy was moving out, or not moving
Wow.
out, but he was changing around his backyard, so he gave me the shed, so I got lucky there.
Dude, they go back like you can't even see. That's crazy. Look at that.
Yeah, no, there's a handful in there.
Wow. And this is, I could see the burn-in. That's actually have that game, Atari Tetris.
Atari Tetris, yep.
It's such a great game.
No, it's a lot of fun. I got one too. So yeah, you know,
Cool.
you gotta find places to put them. You know what I mean? It's just, I have them for storage for my purposes, for
That's
you know
awesome.
customers that need them. You know, if somebody's looking.
And those
for
are both
one.
medium. They're all mixed in, right?
There's a mix of
everything.
everything. I don't know if there's any 27s in there. I think most everything in there is a 25, a 19, and then 18s.
Cool.
So.
And there's other containers you have here. We're gonna walk over there now. And
Yeah,
we'll see.
we'll take a gander at some of them.
Cool.
Yep.
So guys, this is proof that you can wet monitors. I mean, I watch monitors all the time on my channel, and people are like freaking out. Oh my God, what are you doing? You know, as long as you don't turn them on, you know, they're really hardy and durable. So
yeah, I don't like things sitting outside, but you know, after you
if you get overflow,
yeah,
you know, I mean, these are just donors for tubes, right?
most of them,
Yeah,
just
so
parts and stuff.
It's not like they're
So
the
it's,
chassis. Yeah, exactly. The
Yeah.
yokes.
You know, it's just what it is.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Look at
like-
that burning. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
like I say, you can see some of them
Holy
are,
crap.
you know, like I would put that in the game as long if I didn't have a monitor and I needed one. It's
Yeah.
a perfectly acceptable
Yeah.
thing. Otherwise, you got a giant paperweight.
That's
you know
awesome.
what I mean? So can you play it or not? You know.
So you got this container here.
Yeah, and I keep some spare parts and chassis and other stuff in
games
it.
too. Nice.
You know, so it's like I say, it's somewhat organized. I got boards and
Wow.
test equipment and my, you know, some of my chassis stock and
Wow, it
just-
goes back forever.
yeah, little bits of everything and whatnot. There's a couple jukeboxes that are mine that I'd eventually like to get fixed and put up in the house and crank up. They run on 45s, I think, and 33s.
Wow.
I think one of them will do 33s. Or 33 and a third, actually.
Huh.
But yeah, you know, like I say, real estate's a premium.
Yeah.
So I've just gotten lucky and been able to acquire.
That's
shipping
awesome. It's like a
containers.
warehouse. That's awesome. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
great storage. I mean, doesn't matter if it's what the weather's like. I mean, they won't do anything. It's not like you're storing back glasses for pinballs or anything.
Yeah, and like I say, it's and then the misnomer is too, like it all depends on how you set them. Like some areas are different, they're damp in their location. But what a lot of people don't do is they don't put them up on blocks to where there's air underneath of them.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And when you have air flowing underneath,
Oh,
it
okay.
keeps the humidity down. Okay.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And also, when we got it, we had to cut in a
Oh, I
vent.
see the vent. Yep.
Yeah, there's a vent up here, and then there's a vent on the back right. So that way air flows through it.
That makes sense.
And so when it gets hot and it cold,
Right.
it condenses and stuff like that.
And
it
it's still
doesn't-
covered from the rain, and you're
right.
good to go.
It doesn't melt. Like this has been sitting in here for several years, and there is absolutely right here by the door, and there
Yeah.
is absolutely nothing wrong.
Yeah, no rot, no nothing.
No, and this is a brand new CNC cab.
Wow.
You know, it's a brand new cab. It's one of my. I'm gonna switch my nibbler over to it eventually.
Wow.
Because my nibbler cabinet is just terrible, so I have to get that restored or sell it
that's
to somebody
great.
that wants to restore it. But I'm going to take all the guts and I'm going to transplant it all in here. But like I say, this has been sitting in here for, you know, I don't know, 3 years now or something,
Wow.
and it is just as solid as the day it got put in here.
Yeah,
So it's like, if you
that's smart.
if you prep your containers properly, you know, and they have proper airflow and everything like that.
And I'll tell you what, it's less of a risk putting everything in here, you know, because like people have stuff in their house, and what if you have a fire?
yeah,
You can't.
So,
There's no way you can have a stove or a leak or cigarettes or whatever. You know, this
Yeah.
is just here.
yep,
It's
that's it.
just doing its thing, and it's
And-
preserved.
And the other thing too is think about it. If you have the ability, some people don't have the property to do it. I'm lucky enough; I have enough space here to do it. But if you buy one of these for anywhere between $1,500 and $3,000, depending on which one you get, 20 foot, 40 foot, how wide, how tall, etc. It all makes various differences. Okay, but think about it: is you buy a storage unit and you pay $200 a month. Okay, that's $2,400.
Yeah, $2,400 bucks a
Okay,
year.
you could have bought one of these
Yep.
in what you pay for storage. And guess what? It sits on your property. You walk down here at any time, day or night,
Yeah.
open the door, and get what you want.
Yeah, it's very
no
true.
problems. So this one here, the same thing. It's a mess. but it's been a catch-all for parts and stuff I've collected
Yeah,
over
this
the years.
is awesome. It's like storage rooms.
Yeah, more packing material, boxes and stuff for shipping things, and just stuff I've collected over the
Yeah.
years.
You never know when you need stuff too. It's like you're looking for, and those are expensive to ship.
Yes, those bezels, these right here.
These, yeah,
Yeah.
they cost for like a lot because it's just based on the size, you
Right.
know, even though it's light.
Yeah, and when you have miscellaneous like that, there's no real good way to store them. They don't sit on shelves, so you can see they're just a bungee cord wrapped around and hanging in the ceiling. Because
Yeah, I have a couple. I actually put them on top of my machines where they're hidden.
Yeah, no, that's a good place to put 'em,
But I only have like 2. I don't have,
yeah,
and I don't even need them. I just have them because
Yeah.
I'm like, I remember paying for shipping one time. I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
not doing that again.
yeah. No, I get some junk games from time to time,
Yeah.
and when you just part things out, when you have to, you get parts that are
Yeah.
just laying around.
This
and-
looks odd. I wonder what this is.
Yeah, it's a Viper. What that is?
Oh,
is,
this thing moves.
Yes, what it is it's hard
That's
to see.
awesome.
But the whole head moves, and it's hard to see from the front. But it's actually got like fighter controls, and it articulates, and you actually
Oh.
play a fighter jet.
That's cool.
And you're shooting guys and other planes and stuff like that. So yes, you move the whole top of the head. It's all potentiometer. I believe
That's
it's
so
mostly
cool.
potentiometer based. Work in progress. The game works. The sound's not too good. I got to get another monitor chassis in it. So
Right. That's awesome.
Yeah, needs to be fixed. But other than that, this place is just kind of another catch-all for parts and things.
Yeah.
You collect over the years. I wish I had a nice, big, gigantic, 100 by, 300 foot, warehouse and stuff like that. 2 stories high and an
Yeah.
elevator to put stuff in. But
A forklift, why not? Right, throw that in there.
Yeah, absolutely. But you just
Cool,
don't.
man.
Yeah, I just don't have the
All right,
space.
so what we're gonna do? We're gonna invite you over to Jay's house, and you can check out his little Star Wars arcade, and we'll just hang out for a little bit. So we'll head over there now.
Okay.
Cool.
Sounds like a plan.
Come on in.
So now you're gonna be judged by the.
I know, right? So
I don't know
the
about-
legend is at my house.
I don't know
so-
about all that.
Yeah. So welcome over, man. I know we had talked about this a couple times.
Yeah, never been
And
here before.
Jason's been dying to get you to come over and check it out. And so I think I mentioned this to you before, and he knows. He got me into this hobby. We've played video games together since I was like 19,
Cool.
and started out with Doom on the computer, and then console-based stuff. And then a couple years ago, I was asking him what I had to do to find a Star Wars upright, and he's like, "Yeah, you can forget that. That's a Grail game. It ain't gonna happen." So for years, my wife and I had wanted to get that game, and amazingly enough, that's where it started. And I told him, I was like, I just want one cab. That's it. I just want one game, and that's it. I don't need anything else. And that was what was supposed to happen. And I picked that up, and then within
That was his first game. I want to say that his first freaking game. That bastard. Who like that's their Grail, and he picks up a Star Wars as his
Yep.
first game. It's like.
I want one, but it's not high on my priority
Yep.
list. But I want one. But I do have one of these.
you do have a Jedi.
I do have a Jedi.
Nice.
Yes.
And it works.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah,
That
that
so.
thing's a little temperamental.
Yeah, that smell you're smelling is because the edge connector has gotten burned up on it a couple of
Yeah,
times.
no, that's cool.
Yeah, we're gonna do that tonight.
Eugene Mosh had given us some ideas on how to fix it with copper tape, which that's why it's got that odor to it because of the copper tape on the edge
so
connector.
I've got copper tape at the house.
Yep.
So.
So we that was the first game I had shipped out from Utah. That was an emotional experience. These were the only 2 that I really spent a lot of money on. Everything else I got for a song and a dance. And so what was supposed to be one game has turned into a
that's cool.
whole room, and
Yeah.
this used to be my office. It's not an office anymore.
You,
There we go.
you want me to make
Wax
you a little bit
myself up
sick on mine? Did you pay a lot of money for yours?
It's a relative term.
Relative term?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll make you sick. Mine was free.
Well, my Tempest was free,
Well,
so I
he
had
had to have it shipped, so yeah, he did pay
No,
some.
Yeah.
mine was 100% free.
yeah, my Tempest was free, and then my Galaxian downstairs was free. That was
Yeah.
not free.
Well, technically you paid for it, but you made up for it with
Right,
the other things.
right. But
You
no.
always have to buy things in 2s or 3s.
There
You
was
can't
no
just-
way, because I love your shirt, brother, but I think you figured out from our room.
Yeah, no, I love Star Wars.
My wife
Star
and I
Wars
are
is
we're
great.
huge
Yeah,
Star
friends on
Wars
that
nerds.
Star. That's great.
And
yeah,
so
I
that's
love
how it started. We had to have the Star Wars upright, and then once I got this, I was like, you know what? Can't have this and not have Jedi. I want to have Jedi with it.
You
So
realize they make like 5 pinball machines that are
yeah,
Star Wars.
I'm not. I already told you that, dude. I'm not doing a
Yeah.
pinball machine. I would have to sit on top of it in here if I bought it, man. I'm not buying a
I
pinball
can give you
machine.
plenty of places to put it out
I'm
there.
sure you could, and I'm sure my wife would kill me. So,
And then you got Outrun behind him.
Yep.
yep.
We actually got that, like at a... Actually, you met one of the guys.
like,
We won't
no
say what his
joke.
name is, but we're actually going to his place to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, no joke, a barn find. Like, we dragged
Yeah.
it out of the barn. It was wrecked. Like Jay was telling you earlier, it had 2 rat's nests up in the marquee, a mummified rat skull. I should have been wearing a Tyvek suit.
Oh yeah.
And I've recapped the monitor, but in the last couple of days, it started to act funny. Jason thinks that I may have put one of the wrong pots in
You can see it right there.
And you can see the colors like kind of changing in and out. So
Right.
we'll probably have to, we may wind up messing around with it a little bit later tonight and seeing if we can fix the pot. I know which pot it is. I'm almost certain I know which
Well,
pot
you
it
can always
is.
bring it by too.
And I can always bring it by to you.
Yeah,
since you're
for
around
now.
the corner. Yep.
And then this Spy Hunter.
Yep. We just got done.
I'm jealous.
Again, I got this like Craigslist special. A guy had it from a friend that had it at a church. Friend died. He didn't want to keep it, and I got it for a ridiculously, really good price. The side art, the
I was
full
about to say,
side
this
on
side
it
art's
is
amazing
original.
here. Who did that?
But the square insert is a skate pod. We actually put those on because there was no side art.
Right.
So we just, instead of doing a full restore, we just did
It's only really,
partial.
I told him just do it temporarily so you can
Yep.
get the whole thing done. But it came out really better than we thought it would.
Yeah, I got lucky enough to get one in the past. I don't remember where, why, or how. I don't remember. But my side art's slowly running off. But
So you still have your Spy Hunter?
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Does it hum?
Yeah.
I don't remember. I know I'm having troubles with the Squawk and Talk.
Okay.
On it.
Yeah.
It will play the Peter Gunn theme very statically in the
Yeah.
grunts, and then it never plays it again.
Oh.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
I have
another
no idea
another thing I know we have to fix. Like right now, it's coined up. You know, there's no free play on it. So, but my weapons van light is not flashing. It's supposed to be flashing.
Right.
And
Okay, you want to know a fun thing you can do to make this thing free play?
how? The dip switches?
Nope. What I did on mine, I took and ran a wire from down at the coin bank, because every time you put a coin in, it makes the vroom noise, you know?
Right.
Well, I wired that to the shifter, so every time you shift the shifter, it goes vroom, vroom.
I like that.
And
That's
it coins it up at the exact same
and
time.
you might be coming over to do that. to
That's
mine.
funny.
Yeah.
That's a great mod.
Yeah, you might be modding mine, man. Yeah,
Because I
like
brought
that.
him, I didn't tell him yet, but I brought him Easy Coin Up.
Right,
It's like this
right.
little sticker thing that
Yeah.
John makes. You know John, you met John
Yeah,
probably
oh,
at
yeah,
Drinkers.
yeah.
Yeah. And
Jowl or whatever it's in, yeah.
yeah.
Oh, you brought it with you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have one next.
All right, we're gonna
I
put
can
that
bring
in.
it. Sure.
Yeah,
Takes
cool.
about 5 minutes.
Yeah, yeah. And then
Then this Galaxian, that's the one that was actually in my house. I did an episode on that where it was just a fuse. That's what we called the episode. Because literally, it just kept popping the fuse. The guy who had it, he said that water was dripping on top in a warehouse one day.
And blew.
And then he wiped it off and assumed it was fine, but there was still water inside. You know, he didn't take the back off. He didn't know.
Right,
He
right,
turned it on. He said he saw a flash of light, and it never worked since. So I picked that up for him because I already have a Galaxian.
right.
Right.
Yep. And I was dying to have
And you can
one.
see this control panel. We actually made it multi. This is a separate control panel that somebody attempted. You can see a little bit of scratch here.
Yep.
They really jacked it up, and you know. So I bought this for $20.
Yep.
I want to say.
Shipped.
And Magic Eraser did. It came out great. I drilled an additional hole, you know, because you wanted two. Typically, people will drill it right here, and we chose to put it over here instead to just not cover the fire or anything.
It looks
A little spaced
proper,
out.
too.
Yeah, it does. The colors match.
And
everything.
everything
It
else
doesn't
is all
look-
original. And this has a 16-1 currently. You want to upgrade to something else, you said, because it's, you know,
Yeah.
some of the games are inaccurate. This sounds horrible.
Sure.
But this is a panel for $20. He swapped it. I actually repinned everything and made a harness, the whole thing. I did all the wiring for that. And I'll show a picture. I'll throw it up here because I do have a picture I can show you guys. And then the original one, we just have it laying in the back, and it's
Yeah.
all original with his board.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
and-
board's dormant
Yeah,
inside
and
of
he
it.
bought the JAMA to
Yep.
Galaxian
Yep. That's the way
adapter.
to do it.
So
So
in
that
5
way
minutes, we can put it
We
back.
preserved the game. We didn't mess it up. And it's amazing the way it happened because the monitor that we had in it was a 4600 we had in this,
Yeah.
and we just could not.
I take-
You may wind up seeing it at some point. we recapped it. We put a new we did everything. Could not get it to work, and finally we gave up and said screw it. It was a VGA monitor. We stuck it in there, and then we were able to put the 60M1 in. So it all worked. And amazing.
Actually, that's an arcade monitor. It's
Yeah.
I think it's IGO. It was like it
Diego?
was brand new. Yeah, EYGO.
Something,
Yeah, but it had a VGA connector, and we're like, just put it in for now, and then once I get the monitor fixed, our plan is to put it in there with, you know, it'll still be a 16-1, but it'll be an original monitor.
And I gotta say, like, because my arcade is so small, I was dead set against putting a 16-1 in it at first. I wanted to preserve it as a Galaxian, but we play more on that machine than any other machine in here because it's got
the kids
so many
play
games
Pac-Man, and
It's what's fun to you is all that matters.
right, man.
and this here is a full restore.
Yeah, that was my first restore I did.
I mean, it has beautiful side art, you know, that
That's
he did.
Joe's art. I dragged it out of a basement in Hyattsville, Maryland. It had sat down there for 30 years. All the art was gone. This was wrecked. The ball was wrecked. The lights didn't work. There was water damage on the bottom of the cab, and I pulled the whole thing. Now this whole edge was actually folded over and crushed, which is why this isn't sitting right now because I had to redo this on the side.
Right.
But
Yeah, he didn't glue it in.
I had never.
That was also your first cab.
Yeah, it was my
that you've
first
ever done.
restore I ever did.
And you paid what?
$120 for the centipede.
bad.
And then
Not bad.
a few months later, when I picked up my afterburner, which I have since sold, I got a second centipede, and because I knew how to do it on this one, I stripped that one all the way down to nothing, and then rebuilt that one for my boss for his wife for her 50th.
I did that same thing. When my friends came over, I had a centipede cab that I had picked up from somewhere. It was pretty much empty. And he came over and I said, yeah, I'm going to, you know, is there anything you want from here? And he's like, yeah, my mom likes a centipede. And he's like, I don't know where to get one. I said, well, I'll make you a deal. I got one down there. As long as you buy all the parts and, you know, pay me half labor, I'll get it ready for you. And we got it ready and took it over there. She was up in the house, didn't know we were there. We took it down behind and put it in the basement and hooked it all up. And he surprised her on Christmas Day.
That's so
pretty
cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And then
And then this here is, we just actually assembled it. Well, we assembled it. This is like a year in the making.
Yeah,
and
over a
we
year
were
in the
going
making.
back and forth with artwork and who to print it. And, you know, finally I asked my buddy Joe Sabo, and he was really, you know, awesome in like printing it. He did it, you know, I just told him ahead of time. I sent it to him. We looked at the files. He actually saved us too, because I had an error where you saw like, because on my monitor, I have like this rinky-dink monitor. He has like professional stuff. That's what he does. And he's like, well, you can see the light box, and he just did like a screenshot, sent it to me. I'm like, oh, I wouldn't have caught that if I had printed it. So luckily, you know, he told us about it. We fixed it, sent it back to him. He printed it, and that's it. You know, we did this all. This is all designed. I guess it was a collaboration.
We
I
spent
did all the
hours
stuff.
online at night, like with him sharing his computer screen to my monitor, and you know, me picking out images and how I wanted it to line up, and you know, we stole all kinds of stuff that we found online. And then what took the most amount of time after we had everything done was the hood of the car. Like, what did we want it to say?
Yep.
And I was just sitting here one night talking to him, and I looked up. I was like, I think I know what I wanted to say.
Yep, right there.
And it kind of had, you said double entendre earlier.
Yeah.
So because it's all, you know, retro games on MAME, you know, a long time ago we played these games. That was what we came up with.
It works.
So, yeah, man. And then
great.
we themed it like the left side is the Sith and the right side is the Jedi. So red and blue, and you know, the Star Wars nerd in you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You
And
get
it has like
so.
everything. It's Raspberry Pi,
Right,
so it has
right.
like Nintendo, Sega, all the stuff the kids like.
Yeah. No, that's cool too.
You know, so
It's very
worked out.
flexible.
Yeah,
And
man.
it has music and all that. We have it disabled for the video,
Oh, sure.
but it actually, when you come in here, you'll hear what you hear behind us for Star Wars, and then you hear this thing playing like theme music from
Yeah.
the movies
Yeah.
and all that.
And when my
But
son
again,
is
we
old enough and
disabled
he
it.
goes off to college, so he has something for the dorm room, I'm going to let him take it.
And
Yeah,
it works.
why not,
It works
you know?
great.
Yep. And then here's my Galaxian, my free pickup that we got, the cocktail that I wound up picking up.
Yeah. No, that's cool.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
So
I love my Galaga to look like that, but it does
yeah,
not.
Galaga. I said Galaxian. So
Yeah.
It's all right.
yeah, I couldn't turn. You know, I'm not a fan. I know you are of cocktails, but free is free. And when
Yeah.
my coworker said, "Hey, it's yours for free," I was like, "I'll take it."
Well, if
And-
you want to pass it on for free, you know where to pass it to.
Yeah.
You
Well,
think?
we could talk about trading, man. Like,
I'd rather trade.
yeah,
I like trading.
We could
I
look,
really
look
do.
at trading.
I do like trading.
Even if it meant like not even a full trade like this in cash towards something.
It don't matter. I like
I'll
trading.
take one of your
Yeah.
Trons, you know, happily. You know, I'll trade you. This will be gone tomorrow. Truck delivered with a red ribbon on it. If we can figure out this in cash towards a Tron.
Yeah.
So
I've got board sets, so no worries.
I added that. That one of the things I don't like, and I was telling Jason about cocktails, is that I cannot stand that 70s wood grain without like telling you what the game is. And when we were down at Fireball Arcade the other night, Steve Ontiveros, the owner, he had all these little micro marquee metal signs, and I was like, dude, that's so cool. Where'd you get it? He's like, hey, you want it? Here you go. And behind this, there's actually 6 screw holes that they must have had a data plate or something once upon a time.
Yeah.
And I wanted to cover the holes up, so I was like, that's going on there, and I just like
Yeah,
how
it looks okay. It looks way better than it was.
Yeah,
the holes
it
look
does with
weird.
all the screw holes.
It's funny because I like wood grain sides.
I think, like you said, it's all what you like, right?
Yeah, everybody
So,
has
yeah.
their own personal taste.
Yep.
I personally like it, so.
but
Nice.
yeah, we did some work on it. You know, not bad. It would have started a fire had the old owner kept it in the condition it was in at some point in his house, because nothing was
wires were just
grounded.
twisted
Stuff
together.
was arcing, and
It was
you know,
bad.
it took a few hours of rewiring.
They had
and,
lamp
you know,
cord
put
in
the
there
lamp
that
cord
was just
out
like,
and-
they forgot about the ground. They're like, who cares?
Yeah.
It's working.
Yeah.
You know?
So yeah, so that's how
But
it
we
came
got it.
out, man.
Yep,
And then
so we did
he,
that today.
He dialed it all in finally today. So
No,
Yeah, we
it's good.
actually converged it, and we had to use the convergence strips to do it.
Yep.
So it was a little bit of pain. It was actually the first time I had really, like, I know how to do it. I've seen people do it, but the first time, like, you're a little nervous. It's like, oh, okay, well, is this right? And we,
But
you
remember
know,
I was talking about the sound issue?
Yeah.
So here, so it's really low, and that's maxed volume almost on the PCB. But then I just want you to hear how it sounds when the ship gets wrecked, which is going to take forever because the screen's got to fill up.
Yeah, they won't start dive bombing until later.
I'll
Yeah.
keep killing them until
I'll
they come
turn this
down.
off. I'm going near the speaker, too.
All right there. Did you hear it?
It was like, so we're thinking might be the amp area.
Well, being that that's all
Yeah.
louder it gets,
Yeah.
I'm thinking it might be sound amp on your board.
The sound amp?
Might be.
Okay. So the best
Yeah.
way to check that would bring the boards over to you and let
Yeah.
you check them out.
Yeah,
Okay.
bring it
Yeah.
over, let me take it home, one of the two, and,
Yep.
and then I can take it.
But it's
back out.
clean, like inside. It's all,
Yeah, it's in nice shape.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because if you've got that almost max volume,
It
right,
should be loud.
It is
yours
on-
should
it is
be-
max.
Yeah.
It should be.
yeah, that's why we thought it was
yeah,
a speaker. Like, we had the wrong speaker at first, and I'm like, well, maybe not. You know, let's ask him.
Yeah,
I mean, from what the manual says it's supposed to be a 6x9, 8 ohm, 7 watt speaker. This is a 6x9, 8 ohm, 15 watt speaker that's in there.
it's a little high, but it should drive it fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, when we looked
It-
online, they had the same specs, and it says for
Right.
midway uprights and
Yeah,
cocktails.
it should drive it fine.
So, yeah.
We'll have to check the board out.
Yeah, man.
If
Yeah,
we
next
have-
day or so I'll pull it out and I'll swing by it when I'm picking the kids up from school and drop off the boards with you or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
So, again, the beauty of having him right
Lucky
around the corner from
bastards.
my
Keep
house.
rubbing it in.
Yep, I am rubbing
all the
it
way
in.
up near
If
New
you're
York
all
City.
the way up in Connecticut.
He's not the only person that is local to tell me. I'm so
Yeah.
glad you were right around
Yep.
the corner from
Yeah.
me.
Yep.
Yeah, we got it. Next time we come down, we're gonna probably hang out with Brewer.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
never
You
been
know.
to his house.
Yeah, so
Yep.
we'll see.
That'll work.
And I've seen it online. That's about it. But yeah, we got to collab because he has a YouTube channel. I have it. And I was
Yeah,
like,
man.
dude, let's collab. We're right there.
Brewer's a good dude, man.
Yeah.
So there you have it. That's my my small little world of my arcade
That's all right.
games.
It rocks.
Yeah, brother.
You got what you like.
All right.
That's the important
Yep.
So I guess I'll close the video on this. Thank you again, Buffett, for inviting us to your home. You know, for the first time ever, right? It's a world
Yep.
exclusive, whatever. And yeah, we'll see you in the future because you guys are hanging out.
Yeah.
And viewers, don't forget to subscribe. Of course, hit the like button. You'll see this banner come up here. I am doing t-shirts. T-shirts are coming probably at 3,000 subscribers. I'm almost there. I'm about 100 away.
So
and
subscribe.
Then, yeah, subscribe. Also hit the like button. And of course, I'm on Twitter at Del's Arcade. And if you guys are on Instagram, I just started. I'm kind of new there, but I post stuff there all the time. So, all right, guys, we'll see you in the next one. Take care.
Peace.
Peace.